So, so I journaled every day with your oldest brother, and my first Father's Day. Being a father is a great thing. Not only do strangers acknowledge your presence with a smile when they see you wiping drool puddles off of your shirt, you will also get one more day of presents a year. And go on to talk about how his mom took me out. Um, Went out to dinner, got pizza, and said the movie we went to see is destined to be a great cult classic, even if nobody will ever quite remember the whole title of the film. No, I'm not talking about the latest installment of Junior Sorcery and Witchcraft. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is a dark glimpse into cause and effect of the ability to erase desired parts of your memory. There's no possible way to describe this film without spoiling it for anyone, so I will simply give my entertainment seal of approval and move on to the next paragraph. So I took the babysitters home, and when I got back, his mom had surprised me with a set of golf clubs. I'd never really cared either way about golf. It was, something I was aware of, but something that didn't impact my life either way, positive or negative. But then it was a really thoughtful gift, and I loved it, so I used them as often as I could. And living on base housing, there are plenty of golf partners. You don't have to throw a stone very hard to hit someone who's willing to go golfing with you. Fast forward a decade later, and your mom and I were together. And in my free time, I started this project, Project Rio. I had started up this reclaimed wood furniture project. The goal was to build up capital. I was pursuing this venture not to become a master furniture designer or any such notions. It was to build up capital to buy a trailer, food truck has always been the goal. Got notebooks of it, but to earn the money for the food truck, I noticed that one consequence of living in a high wind environment is that people replace their fences all the time. So I started collecting fence panels that were set out on the front curb, waiting to be disposed of. I talked to the neighbors and get permission to take the fence panels away from them, and then I'd take the fence panels apart, and I went to the library and found some books on designs, and I made my own stencils and created a logo for the project, and I called it Project Rio, R-I-O. Rio is Spanish for river, and Rio is an acronym for Recycle in Oklahoma, Project Rio. So what I did was I took this reclaimed wood and I made garden furniture, coffee table planters, trellis planters. I made a bench planter before this project came to an end. I hooked up with a farmer's market and shelled out money for booth space with them, and I managed to sell 2 trellis planters through the course of that. But I pushed it on social media and pushed it on the weekends at the farmer's market, and in the end, I was just left with a bunch of furniture. And this was right before I joined the carnival. So I left all of the rest of the tables with my friend Two Shoes and with your oldest brother's mom. And so I don't think any of that furniture exists because I know his mom said that she got rid of them. She claimed she didn't even remember the bench planter being in the yard. In the end, the money that I did make off of this wasn't enough to pay back my friend for the use of his truck and trailer to get the wood, and for the gas I took to get out to the farmer's market, and for booth space. It was a great idea on paper maybe, but I don't know how to sell. I don't know how to sell myself or products of my design. One example of that comes from a commission I got, and I tried to do catering. I thought, I can practice my craft and build up the capital for a food truck if I start catering first. Just advertise on social media, call me up, I'll come to your home and I'll cook dinner. I'll do all the cooking and cleaning. You do all the hosting. I had one friend whose husband was having a birthday and she wanted a cake in the shape of a snare drum. And so I did it. I baked this really delicious carrot cake, and I mixed up some marshmallow and food coloring, and I made fondant, rolled out this snare drum with a couple little drumsticks, and when I took it to the party and I presented it to her, she was impressed, but I was embarrassed to look at it, and so I ended up not charging her for the cake. I just gave it to her. And she was confused, amazed that I was just offering to give my work away, but I felt embarrassed at the thought of taking money for something that I did. And I never figured out how to overcome that. And so here I am with nothing.